and welcome to Lanier Lawns. Today I'm going to do a quick overview of my property. This is my first video. I've got 37,000 square feet of total property, with about 20,000 or so of that being turf grass. I've got half of the yard being warm season Bermuda in the front, so about 10,000 square foot, and about half of the yard, the sides and back, being cool season Fescue blend due to a whole lot of shade. As I said, today's January 6th. Soil temps here in Georgia, according to the university website, are right around the 50-degree mark, so the cool season grass is still nice and green. The Bermuda in the front is quite dormant, so we'll take a look at that. As far as game plans right now, that really is the game plan. I'm going to start coming up with my plans for the season for both the front warm season grass and the back cool season grass. I think that's really what January is all about. Watching the Super Bowl, taking a little bit of time off, and then just gearing up for the upcoming lawn season. So let's go take a look at the yard. By the way, before we go outside, one thing I forgot is, how do you keep track of a lawn plan? There's really a couple ways. So you can see this old whiteboard from 2020. This is what I used in Tennessee on a much smaller yard. Kind of just came up with my plans and put my to-dos and edited and changed things as I went. Just pretty old school whiteboard style. I used an app last year to kind of keep track of this property. Worked out pretty well. Only problem is I couldn't change between the cool season and the warm season. It only allowed me to put one type of grass in. So this year I'm just going back kind of old school, really as old school as you can get. I'm just going to use an old journal and just record down my programs for each part of the yard and just kind of take notes on what I'm doing. All right, let's go outside. Check it out. Really see one of the problem spots right here where the drainage is kind of eroded away in between where the Fescue and the Bermuda meet, so that's on the to-do list to fix this year. Not sure exactly how I'm going to do that. Look over here at the Bermuda, it's dormant. You've got a few weeds on some of the edges coming through. And some really warm weather last week. Other than that, it's looking pretty good. I'll start kind of greening up some on the sidewalk areas. Definitely going to do some work this year on this flower bed on this corner. It's kind of, all the mulch is eroded away, so may do some sort of border and try to keep the Bermuda from creeping into that. Another example of where the cool season meets the warm season, so definitely interesting looking. I would have to say that overall I'm pretty happy with how everything's looking right now. We'll see how things go along. I have done several apps of pre-emergent on this front Bermuda, so really can see the big difference last year. When we bought the property, I had a ton of winter weeds just scattered all throughout this Bermuda that we had to deal with in the spring. Not sure if it's Poa Triv or Poa annua. Thinking this is Poa Triv right here. What do you think? See some more of that light green, what I think is probably Triv, or trivialis. Loves this damp areas through here. We'll walk around this back area. Last 2 weeks of warmer weather really helped out a lot back here. See all the leaves. Get a little closer up view of this. You can see it's still got some thin spots, but overall it looks a lot better than the dirt that we had the same time last year. It's looking pretty good. It's filling in. Had a lot of problems with rain when we did the overseed in September, so some of the seed really just kind of came up last week when we had those warm temperatures. But all right, this little spot was all bare last year. It looks pretty good again. Got maybe Triv or annua kind of mixed in there. We'll work on dealing with that next year. Alright, well, that was kind of a quick just walk around the yard. As you can see, a lot of property, 2 different types of grass, a lot of projects to go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you out there in the lawn.